Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Eternal Love of Drama, a channel where two drama bingers share our very strong but relatively uninformed opinions about Chinese drama. Welcome to our new subscribers. I'm Linda, and I don't know anyone famous or anyone involved in production of Chinese drama or Chinese pop culture, but that does not stop either of us from sharing our very strong opinions about things that we have watched.
Hi, I'm Sharon. Today's video is a review of the recently completed Chinese drama, Word of Honor. Word of Honor, also known as A Tale of Wanderers, is a 2021 Chinese wuxia drama. It's an adaptation of a BL novel called A Tale of the Wanderers by Priest, who I guess is a famous web novel writer. We don't know because we don't read Chinese. And it stars Zhang Zihan and Gong Jun, and it just finished, I guess, 36 episodes. It's available on Youku and on YouTube. And so essentially we are reviewing this because I think if you watch any kind of Chinese drama, you probably have heard of it. Kind of broke the internet. It is a BL novel that made people go really, really crazy because I guess it's also the first of many BL like adaptations that are coming out soon. So as a BL like story, it focuses on the relationship between Zhou Zisu, who is, I guess he is the former head of a secret a sect of assassins, and Wen Kexing, who is this playboy of somewhat unclear intentions and origins. And the two of them have a chance encounter on the street, literally. And this is at the time when a number of the sects in Jianghu, or actually all of them, are chasing down this secret treasure that will let someone be the ruler of Jianghu, which the martial world, which is a very common sort of theme in wuxia dramas. So it did actually cause a lot of drama watchers and drama reviewers to go crazy. And I guess I'm outing us by saying that we didn't really love it that much. And so this is our somewhat critical review and it's an objective review. And hopefully you don't get mad at us and hate on us, but we're going to try to be objective. We're going to ask 3 questions. Was this a good wuxia drama? Was this a good BL drama? And then overall, was it a good drama? Right? And then we're gonna try to talk very objectively about it. So, question 1: was this a good wuxia drama?
It was okay. Like, I think that there were some parts of it that I like. So, a lot of the wuxia drama is like this exploration of good and bad, right? And who, like, people that are our heroes are the ones that go out in defense of everything good. And what you find in most of these that are done well is that there is this complexity of like people that seem like they are supposed to be good people. They're affiliated with all the good groups of people, but they're not actually that good. And so I do think that this had some complex characters. I think that there was this real interesting exploration of like where you come from, what your trauma is that you're bringing to the table, and how that affects like how you behave in the world now, and like what you're like, what ends justify what means. But I don't think it got explored in depth enough. Like, I think it could have been good. It could have been much better, but it was okay for me.
I think you're right about that because what is always interesting about like circumstances and backstories and like flashbacks is you always like are looking for the like what made a really good person become a bad person, right? Like what's that transition point, or what is the thing that made the bad person become a good person? And actually, I think you saw more of the what could make a bad person become a good person, or is like you saw more of an exploration of that on the evil bad people side, where a number of the demons have really sad stories, right, where they're actually trying to get justice but they're just doing it in the wrong way, or they're trying to learn what it means to be human, or they're just doing this in this way because they're over it with humans because of the good people. Whereas with good people, the motivations were always like a little like, I don't know, like if I believed that jealousy or like power was like played out well enough.
Yeah, I think they did like a good exploration of like what made the bad people bad. And then you had some like sort of like in between people that I thought was also like really really good. But yeah, just okay as a wuxia for me.
I mean, it had the characters, it had all the sex, and it had a treasure hunt. But you know, a key thing for me is like how good is
SECTS
it
sex.
sex. Yes, sorry.
Come on, it's still
We
China.
will get to that other part later. But you know, I was a little disappointed in the fight scenes. I didn't think they were that good. It was more on the like twirly like idol drama side than like a like fisticuffs kind of like legitimate like martial arts prowess athleticism part. There was just way a lot of twirling and like the robes flapping and like the dramatic wind.
Mhm.
So I thought the fighting was pretty mediocre, and I wish it could have been better because with wuxia you always have interesting sex with their different brands of like fighting, and you kind of want to see that. Okay, so overall, other things about whether it was okay. So it was okay as a wuxia drama. What about as a BL drama?
I think it depends on the criteria that you're looking at this with, you know,
Okay.
like I think that I'll just say it now, like I think that I appreciate that they tried to really do some very subversive things given that this is a mainland China production. There is heavy censorship of this kind of thing. You know, people that are drama reviewers that like that have like ties to the industry like don't even say the word gay, like so they're not like LGBT stories that are told in Chinese drama land, and they really tried very hard to be subversive. And there are lots and lots of videos that you can watch on the internet about how people talk about like lip reading what the actors are like saying before they were dubbed over. So I want to like acknowledge that and like appreciate that they did that, but at the same time like I did not think that the relationship between the two characters, like it just didn't give me the feelings like the Untamed did, you know, like I didn't buy for a long time that these people were that cared about each other. In the very beginning it would just like they came on so strong, it was so forced from the beginning that I like it made me balk, right? So I think that um eh, just meh for me on whether it's a good BL drama. You?
I think like kind of meant to like towards the end I'm like, yeah, I guess these people care about each other, but I agree with you that they came on real strong. Like I remember watching The Untamed, and there is a scene very early on. It's like in the second episode or something, or the first episode. I can't remember. The first time that Lan Zhan encounters Wei Wuxian after not seeing him for 16 years, and he's wearing the mask, and he's like, Wei Wuxian is playing the flute. He's playing their song, and like he grabs his arm, and they stare at each other, right? And you're like, I don't know why they're staring at each other like this because you know you haven't met them yet, right? It's just too early. But you're like, I need to find out like what this look is all about, and then you get the story of how they got to build their relationship, and you're like, oh, I'm in it. I didn't feel like there was that kind of like chemistry, and I think we briefly
It
touched.
got better. It got better over time. It developed over the
It
course of
did.
the 36 episodes, but in the beginning, it was really, it came on really strong and it felt very
Yes.
forced.
It felt like someone was trying to make me root for them as a couple, and I couldn't even decide that I thought they were friends or
Someone was
anything.
trying to make you do that.
Yeah.
And I think that like really early on, they had this conversation that reminds me of an episode of episode 25 of The Untamed. Not that I've
Whoa.
watched this scene a million times, but like where, you know, he's in the forest playing the flute and Lanzang comes up to him and he's like, you know, like, well, what do you think of, like, I once thought of you as my closest soulmate, my closest confidant. And then like And they pretty much like mimicked that scene in like, but like in episode 2 of this. And I was like, no, we're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
So meh.
Yeah. I think that's disappointing too, because it could have been good. It could have been good because I think all of the story pieces were there. The fact that um, Wen Kexing kind of suspected that they knew each other when they were kids, right? So he suspected a connection, and he was trying to get Zhou Zisu to give up his like story, right? To tell him like more of his background because he's trying to figure out who this guy is, and he feels like there's a connection. Um, and then like he's trying to dig out the past, so I feel like there could have been some really interesting relationship development, but instead it was like just full on like flirting the whole time, which I mean, I think to your point, like good for them for trying that out, but like it was like the biggest open secret anyway, so like how subversive was it? I don't think it was subversive. They were just doing it under everyone's eye, right? And so I don't know how much credit I will give them credit for writing it in the script and trying it out, but I don't give them credit for the subversion because I don't think it was subversive in the end. And I also think because they wanted to be in my face, they really missed a chance to take all of the components they had, because it was a very complicated relationship that went back a generation that could have been very rich and really interesting, but it wasn't because that's all they gave me. So I think that they got distracted by their own cleverness and missed a big opportunity to do something really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess that's sort of getting at the question of like, was it overall good? And I'm with you. I think it could have been.
Well, tell me what you liked about it.
Oh, well, there are things that I liked about it. Like I thought like, yes, we've seen better fighting, but I thought that like it was like I love this genre. I love wuxia, and there was like all of the like fighting and the
Yeah.
like all of that exciting martial arts stuff that is in a wuxia drama, and I really like that about it. I also think that this was the best treasure that
Yes.
we've come across. Like usually people are searching for this like treasure that's going to change the balance of power and like change your life forever, like whatever, and it's like really lame. And this was actually like a decent treasure that could have actually changed the lives of
Yes.
many people.
Well, I
So
liked how it was a double treasure, right? Because all of the Jianghu people were searching for like it for the purposes of like all of the manuals, but then all the
yeah.
government people were searching for it because they thought it could help them like change the country, which
Mhm.
it could do both of those things. And it was a like legitimate like treasure trove. Like it wasn't
Mhm.
like a pile of like jewels in a couple of things, Legend of Fae, right?
Mhm.
Or it wasn't
Yeah.
a like a blue light, LED light, like in like Miss Truth, or like I mean I don't know. I so yes, that was a good treasure. That was definitely a good
Yeah.
treasure.
What did you
I
like?
I liked the character Tenling. I thought he was a really cute character. I you know I think that he was like a good through line through all of it to keep people honest, and I like how they used like a child to do it, or like a young person, because I think we've talked about it before. Like kids and old people often get slaughtered first in for the sake of moving the plot along, but he instead sort of was the glue that tied all of this like different like relationships together, and he did it in like a way that was like he was adorable.
Mhm.
So I liked him. I thought he did a really good job.
He was a good kid. I do appreciate that, like, call it subversive or not, like, I do appreciate that they did all that work to like try and tell a BL story. And all of the like, I haven't watched all of it because frankly I just didn't like this drama enough, but there are like lots and lots of videos online that you can watch about like the various scenes where people are lip reading and seeing what was actually in the script and what the actors are actually saying before they were dubbed over. And all these like references, all the sleeve cutting, like I like that they're trying to do that. um I have questions about like how much like putting all of this BL content into one TV drama is going to change culture and forward social change and human rights and acceptance, but like, I like that somebody's trying to do something. And I would like to think of it as that instead of like, capitalizing on stories of people that you don't give rights to.
I mean, but they could have done
Call
it
me
better.
optimistic.
They
Call me
could have done it
optimistic.
better if I believed the relationship more, because that is ultimately what it's about, right? Like, can like there be relationships across certain kinds of boundaries? And
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'm not saying that it was done well. I'm just saying that I appreciate the effort.
okay, I also appreciate the effort. I don't think that I want to spend my time pontificating on like the future of Chinese censorship board or
Yeah.
like the future of any of these other rumored BL things, but
Yeah.
okay.
All right. What didn't you like about this drama? And here we go. FYI, spoilers.
Because we just don't care. And also, if you watch Chinese drama, you've probably seen it already. So I don't even know where to begin with this. I will just also confess that if not for the fact that we had discussed reviewing this, I may or may not have actually finished this drama, because I actually did lose interest in the middle. Okay, so I'll just talk about some of the superficial things. I thought the costumes were garbage. They looked like they were wearing their parents' like bathrobes. I know that they had to like swap out actors and whatever, but like they didn't have a tailor to like recut the garments so that like people, they were always getting in people's ways. I mean, it looked like 4 sizes too big for like across the board.
Don't forget Tenling's New Year's outfit that looked like one of those like yoga blankets made into a.
No, it wasn't. It doesn't look like a yoga blanket. It looks like when you go to Mexico and they give you that free thing that has the stripes,
I think it's called a baja.
A baja, yes. It comes with a big mariachi hat, and like margaritas. So I don't know what that was. Whoever designed the costumes, and like I just saw on the internet that they've been auctioning them off for like tens of thousands of dollars. I don't get it. So I thought the bathrobes looked like bathrobes. I also thought the sets and the CGI were also really terrible. So I don't really know where they spent their money on this one.
Good question. I don't know. Okay, I think that we can start like with the other stuff too. Like I think that it was like your point about like losing interest, like some parts of it were just like not that interesting. And I definitely fast forwarded a lot of content that I was like, I don't care about this character. I'm not interested. Boring.
Yeah. I thought that there were some, so I said that I did like Tunling. I thought he did a really good job. There were some actors in it that I thought were just not good. There was like some pretty severe overacting. And I just didn't think that some of the actors were good at all.
It was inconsistent, and it's hard because like if you're in a drama where everybody is a bad actor, then it doesn't like stand out so much. But when you have people that are doing a pretty good job, like then you're like, ooh, you're not that good. But I did, I think that it was just like really, I have nothing to say here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I know we're trying to like be nice and we're trying to be objective. That's what we're trying to be. Not nice, objective.
Well, okay, so I think that there's a few plot points also that I think were and then I'd like to talk about the ending. But like, okay. Wen Kexing's like grand finale of his big elaborate plan, like there was no reason to not clue in Zhou Zisu other than to create that tension in their relationship. Like there was no reason to believe like they were like communicating, they were like working together. There's no reason why he couldn't have told him what the plan was. And I just really think that didn't make any sense why he would do that other than to create drama.
Well, it created drama, but also set up the inevitable situation where now Zhou Zisu is about to die, right? Because he's like taken that pill because he thinks he has to, right? So now it forces like all of the events that have to happen for it to end.
Yeah.
There's like 100% a plot device.
Yeah. Well, but like it didn't make sense for the characters, I don't think. And I think like also like, other than like the need to have tragedy, the like saddest wedding that I've seen recently. Like, didn't really need to happen.
Yeah.
The with the, you know, like second leads, like why? Like, where did that guy even come from? He's been absent for like the whole drama, and then he shows up the end to like ruin people's wedding. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really unnecessary because it actually didn't even drive the plot that much further than it could have already been driven, just
Yeah.
given the pieces that were available to it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, and I guess I should have put this in the category of things I did like, because like this was like the reason that I think that the plot didn't need that was because you already had like the Scorpion King doing his thing, and I appreciated him because there's one scene where he's talking to his like adoptive father, who turns out to be a criminal, the crook, right? And he's like, you had these big dreams, but your big dreams were so small. Let me tell you what big dreams really are. Like, if you're gonna go like be evil, let's like be evil, and let me
Do
show
it.
you how it's done. I just thought, like, you are a badass. I like you.
He was an interesting character, and I,
Yeah,
you know, like I think like maybe he could have gotten a little more airtime, but
one
like
hundred percent.
but they just like focused so much on the like relationship between the two leads. Like this guy, like actually, like I think that his motivations were interesting. His development throughout the drama as like different things happened to him were like all of that I thought was super interesting. So I thought he was an interesting character.
Yes, he was probably one of my favorites. I believed him as a sociopath with feelings.
You know, all we can ask that our sociopaths have feelings. Um, okay, so now let's talk about the ending. I
Yes, what
really feel like
happened?
that was not an ending. Like they just stopped. It's like they just stopped talking, and like then they did this like weird add-on, like epilogue type thing at the end of the song, and like we're just like supposed to draw our own conclusions. Like I just like it reminded me hardcore of like the Sleepless Princess, where like both of those things,
No, don't
like
say it.
both that ending and the epilogue ending, I was like, what's happening, right? So you like you want me to like care about these two people, and then you just sort of like end, right? And I just feel like I don't know if this is because of like the censorship board. I don't know if this is like just like because they think that by being as ambiguous as possible, they're like making everyone happy. I don't know. I just what was that?
I don't think it was a good ending. Because I didn't understand it either, and I didn't like that it was just too convenient. It was too convenient for them to have an avalanche, which wasn't the ending, right? But it ended like our main sort of adversaries, like in just a second, like they just
Mm-hmm,
disappeared. Felt like it
mm-hmm,
was unworthy of them because they had
mm-hmm.
been interesting.
Yeah, the
I
Scorpion guy
Scorpion,
deserved better.
he did. So I didn't like the ending for them. I didn't understand, like, are they trying to make me believe that these guys are in semi immortal state, like just fighting together happily ever after forever, which is their favorite thing to do, is fight?
I
And
don't
that's how
know. Whose daughter is that?
I don't know who the kids are at the end. um
Yeah, I don't know if this was like a necessary way to end it. I think earlier you had a good callback to like the sort of like not shown, not pictured ending of the Untamed, but like I
yeah,
don't know if this is just how you have to end a BL story, but like what was that even?
I you know I don't know what that was, but I'm even non-BL endings in Chinese drama are sometimes bad. I just feel like this is the worst of the bunch overall. And what it does is it like makes you feel like it was not worth the journey. And so in conclusion, I would say I don't know if I would recommend this unless someone was extremely bored, because I barely hung on there myself. And yeah,
I think I'm a little more positive on this. Like, I feel like parts of it were entertaining and enjoyable. Like, if you're into sort of like hunting for the Easter eggs, you like watching like um sort of like a romance relationship develop, like, I think that you might enjoy this with a little bit of wuxia on the side, but like I think it had more potential than it manifested. So it's not gonna be, I don't know, many people find this to be amazing and life-changing. We clearly did not.
Yeah, so that's the summary of our thing is we're confused about why everyone thought this was as good as it was because we've seen better.
Yeah.
And um we don't understand. So let us know why we're wrong or if you loved it and like why we should have felt like this rocked our world. It just did not feel that way for me. So watch this drama or not, I don't care because I don't feel strongly about it. Or watch other dramas.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments what you think. Please don't be mean to us, um, just because we didn't like this. And subscribe to our channel. Next time, we're going to review a K-drama. Bye.